Hello, my name is Brian Lugo, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the more common types of business presentations known as training. In Chapter 12, we learned of the various contexts in public speaking, and the area that I would like to focus on is the idea of training and its impact in the workplace. As described in the book, training essentially is a method of presentation that helps prepare new employees for their jobs or can provide instruction and development opportunities for existing employees. These presentations can include topics such as compliance with company policies, changing workplace environments, compliance with legal policies, and or technical training for vital job skills. The example that I will use to help illustrate the importance of understanding training comes from my professional life. In a previous job, I was in charge of an IT help desk and thus very regularly required to provide different types of training presentations. Now, in order to be successful with these trainings, much like the author states in our book, I had to develop a plan to organize, to create, and to ultimately deliver these presentations. So my first step was always to gather all relevant bits of information that I wanted to present to the group, then break each topic down into a few key subject areas. Once that was done, I would then decide how I would focus on each area and plan the different methods that I would use to present the material. After drafting my plans for each training, I would then take that information and present it to a colleague so that they could provide me with any feedback or constructive criticism. At this point, once I found myself content with everything I had been preparing, I was ready to give the actual training presentation. So my inference is that these methods were extremely helpful because they allowed me to systematically approach each presentation and to efficiently prepare for each training. Even going into the very first training session I had performed, I felt really relaxed, and it's something that I contributed to the amount of preparation I had put in beforehand. And while there are definitely moments where I had to change something on the fly or for a later presentation, I found that this was also very important to learn because it taught me how to adapt to those situations for future demonstrations. Another inference that I can draw from these experiences is that by preparing like I did, I was often able to cover each topic with a great amount of detail and with a mix of pre-planned, hands-on demonstrations. This in turn made the audience more engaged and I think went a really long way in terms of helping them to retain the critical points of information. Now that I've made these inferences, I would just like to stress that this approach could not only be used for a trainer giving a presentation, but by anyone who finds themselves in a situation where they're asked to give a public presentation of any kind. By breaking down the development of your presentation into smaller, more logical steps, I feel that you put yourself into better position to not only be prepared, but succeed in giving an effective presentation. In conclusion, I would just like to say thank you for taking the time to listen to my presentation, and I hope you found this information and story as helpful as it's been to me. My ultimate goal in this class is to continue to learn new ways in which to improve upon in public speaking, because as the author Paul J. Miller once said, communication, the human connection, is the key to personal and career success. Thank you.